What is a good man to you?
Well, a good man to me is, fuck what y'all think, a protector and provider. I grew up in a household without a father, but I had a father figure. So even though he was not my father, that was my mom's boyfriend, and he's still around. Like my mom had several jobs, this, that, and the third. He didn't care if my mom was fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. He made sure I was straight.
Would you be considered real if I said, hey, yo, I know I'm sliding on you, but I need you to take care of my daughter? You view yourself as a real woman?
I'm not doing that.
Why not?
Because I'm not.
What? Why not?
Because you're sliding on me, like, go elsewhere. At the end of the day, it's not, I'm not doing it. Just that. It's just simple.
So you're not a real woman.
It's not about being a real woman. I'm not doing that.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right sound. Right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell that nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim your throne. Alright guys, so the caption is when you're an alpha female and he puts his foot down without raising his voice, being condescending, or hurting your feelings. So it's pretty difficult to put your foot down without hurting a woman's feelings, okay? Because even the fact that you put your foot down could potentially hurt her feelings. However, it could also get this reaction from her. Now, what I want to talk about is the alpha female aspect, okay? There is no such thing as an alpha female because if you are an alpha, you have to be a leader of men, right? And most of the time, if not all of the time, these women are not leading men. And if they are, they're leading them astray. So there is no such thing as an alpha female. So let's get that out of the way. But you do have what we call a masculine female, okay? And she doesn't look masculine, right? In my opinion, she's pretty beautiful, right? She's got thick thighs. It looks like she's got C+ to D cup breasts. Very clear skin, beautiful in the face. Obviously, the hair is fake, but she's got some plump lips and whatnot. The eyebrows are a little thin, but overall, I would give her a solid 8. However, she is self-admittedly a masculine female, and a lot of these women will give attitude to a man initially, and then they say, oh, well, you have to be masculine enough to tone down my masculinity and then bring out the femininity in me and all this kind of stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, guys who have it, all right, guys who are put together, they don't do any of that, right? Guys who got money, these high value men that a lot of these women are desiring, they don't, overexert their masculinity in order to subdue a woman's masculinity and bring out femininity in her. They do what they do. They be themselves, or they are themselves. And then the woman, either she sees, oh shit, this guy has a lot of potential. Okay, this guy is pretty, he's doing pretty well in life. Maybe I should act right. That's actually what happens, right? Because they're trying to paint this picture that a man is like, girl, you better get it, and girl, you better, like he's doing all this extra stuff, and that's not the reality, okay? A lot of times when you try and talk to these women in a calm, mild, controlled manner, then this turns them off, and they think that you're a punk, they think that you're a bitch, they think that you're soft. When you try and speak with them in a cool, calm, and collected tone, especially, not all, but especially in the community with black women, a lot of times you may have to raise your voice, and I don't particularly do that. I don't advise men to do that. I just advise you to, if you feel like you have to raise your voice at a woman, you should move on, because a lot of times that escalates into something greater. So what I would say is, you really need to make sure that you are not dealing with these masculine women, because at the end of the day, they can hurt you in the long run. And just like she's trying to be submissive and act like she's a good girl and stuff, they will do the switcheroo.
I have a question. So I've been getting to know this girl for a while, and tomorrow we're going on our first date. I told my friend that on the day of the date, I'm going to tell her to get her hair done and I will pay for it. He said that I'm doing too much, I'm going to look desperate, and is going to send the wrong message. She might even take it as disrespect. I see where he's coming from, but I'm going to do it anyway. I just have to figure out how I'm going to word it so she won't take it the wrong way, you know? I also don't want her to think that I don't like how her hair looks, or I don't think she's attractive or whatever the way she is. I do. I just want to do something nice to show that I can provide, to make a good first impression, and that I'm here, you know? So my question is, am I doing too much trying to pay for a woman's hair before the first date? Is it a good impression? Am I getting bonus points for that? Ladies, would you let a man pay to get your hair done before a first date? And would you take it as disrespect if he told you to get your hair done before a first date? Last question. Fellas, if you could, would you pay for a woman's hair before a first date? Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Let's get it.
Oh my goodness. So the last video, I had to tell brothers to stop with the hairline, stop paying $50 a cut. It's not that important. It's not, financially frugal. And now we have the simp ninjas out here trying to pay for a woman to get her hair done before you take her on a date. Look, bro. I understand doing something nice for a woman, but guys, I told you before, you don't need to extend yourself unless you know 100% that this woman is exclusive to you. These women have rosters, and they have multiple dudes paying for things for them. They have multiple dudes paying for dates, multiple dudes paying for their hair, nails, all this kind of stuff. So please be cautious in your dating endeavors in this modern day, because you're making the wrong decision. You are making the wrong decision. And he says he's been getting to know the woman for a while, and they're going on their first date and whatnot. So let her cover that. All right. You're paying for the date, aren't you? You're paying for the Uber or pulling up and whatever, paying for gas. You are extending yourself. So now it's time for her to show some effort on her end. She should already have her hair done. If she really wants to impress you, she'll get that stuff done herself. But what you guys are confusing is you're mixing in pay to play for genuine desire, and these two don't match. They don't mix. Either you're gonna pay to play or you're not. Okay? Either she likes you for you or she doesn't. So what you guys have to understand is you extending yourself, you overexerting yourself, you putting yourself in a position where you can be taken advantage of is not attractive to these women, and they will make fun of you. They will call you a trick. They will send things to the group chat and say, this dude paying for me here, this dude paying for me here. Ooh, I got them hoes. Ooh, I got a roster, all this kind of stuff. And you are going to be looking like Boo-Boo the Fool. You're trying to pay for her hair when you ain't even got your stuff done. So, I mean, if you are going to make the sacrifice and get a shape up or a hairline and whatnot, get your hair cut, not hers, right? Because she can do that herself. But it's going to be guys who say, well, it ain't tricking if you got it, or if you ain't broke, you'll pay for it, and then all this kind of stuff. And that's just not true, all right? It's just not true. So, guys, don't be like this guy. Don't be sitting here wondering what you should do on the first date and if you should pay for her hair and her nails and all this kind of, because it's not going to stop there. She's going to keep asking. She's going to see that you don't know how to tell her no. So I don't know what's going on with these young guys out here, but this ain't it.
What is a good man to you?
Well, a good man to me is, fuck what y'all think, a protector and provider. I grew up in a household without a father, but I had a father figure. So even though he was not my father, that was my mom's boyfriend, and he's still around. Like, my mom had several jobs, this, that, and the third. He didn't care if my mom was fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry. He made sure I was straight. So he always showed protect, provide. He always opened doors. Still to this day, he at home with my daughter right now. So I hate to say in this generation that we in right now, I still look for that type of stuff because even though I didn't have a dad around,
Yeah.
I still know what it's like for a man to be a man. So I look for that. But at the end of the day, I'm not seeing none of that.
Okay, cool. So let me tell you what I heard you said.
Okay.
Right? So you said a man that looked out for you and he didn't care who your moms was fucking.
Correct.
So what type of nigga is that?
A man.
That's a man to you.
That's a like
That doesn't hold his girlfriend or his partner accountable, and he's just gonna look out for her kids.
But at the end of the day,
Would you tell your son to do that?
if I had a son, if I had a son, because I can't speak of that, I don't have a son.
Yeah.
But if I had a son and that was the situation, son, if you love that girl, if you love that lady,
Yeah.
do you. I can't tell my son what to do or what not to do. But at the end of the day, if I had a son, I'm going to teach my son what I want, what I expect from a man right now. Because these niggas today ain't shit if we finna be real. So if I had a son, if my son loved that lady, loved that girl, if they weren't together and God forbid she got pregnant while they weren't together, separated, whatever the situation was, and she came back around, it's like, oh, well, I'm pregnant, this, that, and the third. And my son would have been like, well, you know what? I fuck with you. Fuck whatever went on, and bitch, and this back in the 80s. I fuck with you. Dope boy era. I fuck with you. You know what? I'm gonna make sure you straight.
That seems very self-serving.
But how?
It seems very self-serving to say that you're a real man because
Wow. So in this day and age, we have fat, overweight, receding hairline, thin eyebrow. I mean, the list goes on. You have these women asking a man to come in and take care of a child that is not his, that she got cheated on by, or that she cheated on him to have a child. I mean, bruh, I told you guys before, when a black woman calls you the ninja word, when she calls you the N-word, it means she doesn't respect you. Period. It is worse than a white man calling you the ninja word, and I'm standing on it. Guys, do not ever let your significant other, your spouse, your partner, whatever you want to call it, your girlfriend, if you are a black man, do not ever let her call you the ninja word. The day she starts calling you the ninja word is the day that she loses respect for you. You see how she is advising her own son. She doesn't have a son, but if she had a son, she would advise him to be a simp daddy. Are you serious? She knows she's a damn lie, but she's up here on this podcast saying all this stuff to try and convince men to do that for maybe her or people in her life or women in her life, because she knows that she wants to go around and make a mistake. She knows that she wants to go, you know, when she's in a relationship with a man, she knows she wants to go fuck off and have a child, and she wants to be, you know, extended the grace and the courtesy to cheat on a man, have a child with another man, and then still have her cake and eat it too. Guys, the delusion in modern women, especially sisters in the community, unfortunately, it doesn't bring me joy to say. It almost pains me to say, but I have to say it, to protect my Malcolms, okay, mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. I have to say this to protect the Malcolms. This is not it, guys, and I don't want you falling for this trap, especially an overweight, tatted up. I mean, Shorty looked like she could be a defensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills. She looks like a pulling guard coming around that goddamn B gap and plugging shit, getting to the second level. I mean, guys, we can't. Who's having sex with that? You black men, y'all gotta stop. You have to stop. Put your dick away, brother. It's not that serious. These are beastly women that y'all are having intercourse with, impregnating, taking on dates. And then you wonder after all said and done, why she's taking you to divorce court. Why is she putting you on child support? Why is she, you know, yelling and screaming and getting mad and nutting up and cursing at you and calling you the ninja word? Black men, we got to do better, because these women do not respect us. Okay? And and here's the thing. If they didn't respect us because we were upstanding citizens and all this kind of stuff, then that would be fine, right? Because we know in the community everything's reversed. So any guy who is doing the right thing, like myself, okay, I'm not out here shooting and killing and doing all this kind of stuff with these Thug Max alpha simps. You know, I run my own business. I'm doing the YouTube thing. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not assaulting anybody. I'm not spinning blocks or anything like that. I'm not sagging my pants. I wear belts. I don't show my underwear in public, all this kind of stuff. If you're doing the right thing as a black man, you are considered lame to black women, okay? So here's what you have to understand. If you are a Thug Max alpha simp and you're dealing with these types of women, you are messing up the game for everybody, period. So there's a part 2 to this, and I'm about to play it right now.
My son would have been like, well, you know what? I fuck with you. Fuck whatever went on, and bitch, and this back in the 80s. I fuck with you. Dope boy era. I fuck with you. You know what? I'm gonna make sure you straight.
That seems very self-serving.
But how?
It seems very self-serving to say that you're a real man because regardless of our situation, you'll take care of my kids.
But it's not kids.
Why is that?
It's not kids, plural.
Kids?
I'm the only child.
Yeah.
My dad, who I call my dad, don't have no kids. He don't have no kids, so I am his daughter.
But you based his realness off of him taking care of someone else's kid regardless of the situation.
He took care of me, yes.
So that makes him real?
Hell yeah. That's a real man. He stepped up to somebody. My dad, I see my daddy ever so often. I call him. My real daddy don't even check for me. But this man who's not my father, make sure I'm straight. I can call him right now and tell him I'm short on my rent. Not my real daddy. Tell him I'm short on my rent. Guess what? I got you. This is not my real dad.
So
this is not my real father. This is not a nigga that's fucking me.
So
this is my daddy.
I can understand that being real in the eyes of the child, right?
Right.
But in the eyes of a partner, which is the question that I'm asking, right? So I personally can't see that being okay. Would you be considered real if I said, hey, yo, I know I'm sliding on you, but I need you to take care of my daughter? You view yourself as a real woman?
I'm not doing that.
Why not?
Because I'm not.
What?
Why not?
Because you're sliding on me. Like, go elsewhere. At the end of the day, it's not. I'm not doing it. Just that. It's just simple.
So you're not a real woman.
It's
but
not
you
about
want
being
a real
a real
man.
woman. I'm not doing that.
Why though?
I'm going
because that shit sounds stupid, right?
It don't sound stupid. At the end of the day, a man and a woman is two different things when it comes to certain shit.
What?
I'm not doing that.
We're not humans.
We're humans.
We don't both have feelings.
Wherever, what planet that you be claiming you from? That's from whatever planet you from. But I'm
from the planet with the real niggas. That's not gonna do that dumb shit. That shit is stupid as fuck, bro.
Wow. So shout out to the brother who's hosting this podcast. I guess his name's Chase Green. This just shows how hypocritical most women are. But we're talking about black women. I am a black man. We're going to specifically talk about black women here, so don't get triggered. The selfishness. And here's the thing. I love children. Pause. Okay? Pause. I love taking care of children, even if they're not my own. Because, you know, I'm a fitness coach first, right? I coach football, I coach basketball, I coach little league, everything, soccer, t-ball, all this stuff, right? I worked with the Boys and Girls Club. I love children. Pause. Okay, they're gonna try and clip it, so I'm, bringing the pause right after that. However, taking care of another man's child is a huge responsibility. Now, shout out to all the big stepdaddies out there. I respect stepfathers, okay? They're Malcolms. Mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men, right? And most of them are Malcolms because the man that the woman had children with is usually a Thug Max Alpha Simp, or he's deceased and whatnot. In that case, she's a widow. It's a different scenario. But when we are talking about a man who has a child with a woman and then he leaves and he's still alive and he has the ability to take care of his child, however, he chooses not to, and then you step up, okay, and become the stepdaddy, I think it is a big mistake in the long run. Now, in the short run, you can positively impact those children's lives in a way that nobody else would be able to, because it you know, you can't replace a good father, a good masculine role model in a household. I am not saying that, you know, I hate stepfathers and all this kind of stuff. I love stepfathers. All right. I have experience with stepfathers, not, you know, not me personally, right? But I have a lot of respect for stepfathers. I think that it takes a lot of character. I think it takes a lot of integrity. And I think it takes a little bit of naivete, okay? I think it takes a little bit of blue pill conditioning. Yes, it does. It does. However, that doesn't change the fact that these are good men. These are good men. And I'm not one of these Andrew Tate guys and you know, we're going to say, oh, you're a brokey. You ain't shit because you make $50,000 a year. No, these men work hard. These men work hard, and they're Malcolms, mildly attractive, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. Medium, ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. Massively ugly, lucrative, communicative, operational, likable men. All of these Malcolms are my guys. They're my guys, right? And we're taking care of these brothers over here. And we're allotting praise on these brothers, okay? But we are also here to let them know that you need to understand everything that it entails when you involve yourself in a situation like this and become a big stepdaddy. One of the factors that you have to look out for is the real father coming back, the biological father coming back and being disrespectful to you. Not understanding that you took his place. Not being able to live with the fact that you took his place. And it could turn violent. Okay, especially when you're talking about a man dealing with his kids, even if he hasn't seen them in 30 years, 20 years, 18 years, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if the kid's 30, then you're not really a stepfather, right? But if he hasn't seen them in 10 years, it doesn't matter. Men get territorial about their seed, whether they're in the life of that child or not. So that is a factor that you're dealing with. Another factor, you can't necessarily discipline the child in the way that you see fit, okay? And we all know from biblical terms, a parent who spares the rod hates the child, but a parent who doesn't spare the rod and who does extend the rod to their child loves that child. So you can't really discipline that child in the way that you need to show them discipline, to show them consequences, to show them that genuine love, okay? And the lines can get blurred because the woman could accuse you of abuse because you are a non-familial man in the household. So there are so many different factors that we're seeing, but ultimately you see that this woman is a hypocrite. She wants a man to take care of her and her kids, but if a man has a baby on her, she's not going to be the mother figure to that child. And I think that's just super selfish. He called it. He says she was selfish, and she is. She's a hypocrite. She's selfish, and she's overall not a good person. You can tell by her mentality. So, and she's also gluttonous. I mean, there's so many things going on with this woman, and I just don't want my brothers to fall in the trap. I don't want my Malcolms to get deceived by these types of women. So anyways, you already know what it is. It's your boy, Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. See your relationship question, email down below with a screenshot of your cash out so I know you're paying your taxes, man. Y'all need to be on your motherfucking name with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.